NUKE fears abound as Russia evacuates Kherson, one of its newest annexed states, from the Ukraine region. Women, children, and thousands of students leave as the countdown to NUKE war continues. Welcome to Mikhail Messenger. I am your host, Mikhail. It's good to be with you guys. And some shout-outs to Damon, Micklin, Mark, David. Great to see you guys here already warming up the chat. I love Jesus. All right, and Metzler. And guys, it's great to be with you today. Hey, I want to give some shout-outs to some of our newest subscribers who subscribed shortly before coming on here today. Miguel, I want to give a shout-out to Miguel. Thank you for subscribing, Miguel. Welcome to the fellowship. You've been raptured in and joining us in the chariot of fire. And it's great to have Tom with us as well. Thanks so much for subscribing, Tom. Woohoo, Tom. All right. And your angelic wings are carrying you into our fellowship and into the chariot of fire. It's great to have you. Thanks so much for subscribing. And also want to give out the shout out to Terrence. And I think I hit Tom twice there. But Terrence also has subscribed with us here. And it's great to have Terrence in the fellowship joining us as well. You've been arpazoed in, and you're in the chariot of fire with us. And I also want to welcome new members that we have. And we have some new members who have joined us as well. I don't have that list right up in front of me, unfortunately. But when I see you here in the fellowship, I will definitely give you a shout out. Welcome. Thank you so much for becoming members. If you haven't become a member yet, what are you waiting for? Now is the time to become a member. So click on the join button on this video and click on the join button on our channel, and you can become a member. Also, if you want to give out memberships to other people when we're in these times together, you can do that by clicking the little heart with the $ in it. You can give out free memberships to other people who might enjoy that. We're doing subscriber-only chats here, so you know that everybody who you give it to will be somebody who will probably really value that. So thank you so much for your support. You can also support us through the links in the description, which is the best way, and also on the screen. You can also do super chats, which we appreciate as well. So thank you so much for supporting our ministry and supporting this channel. So Russia has evacuated Kherson. Of thousands of women, children, and students have been evacuated out of the region. And there are fears there. Now, if you're not sure where Kherson is, that's okay. I got a map here for you to kind of help you out because I wanted to see it too. So, as you know, Russia has recently annexed these 4 lower regions. Now, Kherson, as you see, is where that red little bubble is there. Next to that, you've got Zaporizhia, Donetsk, and Luhansk. And you might remember that they had recently been annexed here. In fact, as of October 2022, Russia now occupies territories in the Donetsk Oblast, Kharkiv, Kherson, Luhansk, Mykolaiv, and Zaporizhia, as well as Crimea, with its armed forces assisted by Russian mercenaries and Chechen Kardarivites and Russian-backed separatists of the DPR and LPR. So that's what's going on. These 4 regions, as you may have seen the reports, were recently inducted into Russia. They've claimed them as their territories. They've made them official states of Russia now, along with Crimea. And Crimea is this little guy down here. If I'm not mistaken, it doesn't say Crimea there, but I'm pretty sure it's this little guy. This little guy sticking out right here. It looks like an island, but it's actually kind of attached. But interestingly, it doesn't say. I don't see the name Crimea on it, but unless I'm going crazy, I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, that's Crimea there, but it's just not saying Crimea on it. And maybe if I get in a little bit closer, we'll say it. I don't know. But in any case, Crimea was taken back in 2014, and now they've annexed the regions closest to Crimea. So they're basically kind of grabbing territory that would serve them there. So Ukraine had that, and then they took that. Now they've taken the Ukraine regions that are connected to it as well. So going back to the article here, there is a state of emergency in the area. The Russians began to evacuation of the Kherson area. So it's like, welcome to our country. We're now going to evacuate you. It's like, what? What's going on? Yeah, thanks. So they're being evacuated apparently to other Ukraine regions. So they're not really evacuating them into the Russia that we knew as Russia before this war. They're evacuating them, it sounds like, into the other territories that they've also annexed. So that's kind of convenient too. So it says they're ordering the women and children and thousands of students to leave first. Schools are closing and everyone is preparing for some very dramatic moments. The Russians are taking emergency measures as Ukrainians are expected to move even closer to the city next week. If this happens, the city will turn into a battlefield as it will come under the range of Ukrainian artillery. This fact brings even closer to a use of Nuke weapons in the rear of the Ukrainian forces or on some critical military base. Under no circumstances will Russia allow the Ukrainians to get so close, because if that happens, then the way to Crimea opens. Right, so basically they're pushing Russia up against the wall, so to speak, to use the Nukes, because they're pushing them now. They're now pushing all the way to the border of Russia here with their advancing and pushing into Crimea and so forth. And, once it gets to that point, then Mr. Putin is probably not going to have much, I don't want to say choice, but he's probably not going to have many options that he wants to work with there other than pressing the big red button. So this morning, the Russian governor of Kherson region appealed to residents to leave the area amid fighting between Russian and Ukrainian forces. In a video statement, Mr. Vladimir Saldo, the head of the Kherson administration, publicly asked for Moscow's help in transporting civilians. We suggest to all residents of the Kherson area to leave. Like, that's nice. And you just get a notice, like, you just got to go. Like, you don't got to go home, but you can't stay here. It's like, you can't stay in your home either. You can't stay in your home and you can't stay here. So where am I supposed to go? If they wish to other areas to protect themselves from rocket strikes. Oh, that's nice. Okay, thanks. I'll just go live out in a field somewhere. Addressing the leadership of the country, I ask you to help organize this project. Yeah, it's a lovely project. We, the residents of the Kherson region, know that Russia does not abandon its people. Of course they don't. Every day, cities in the Kherson region come under rocket attacks. These attacks cause serious damage, first and foremost to the residents. Okay, so this is his speech, and I already looked at it. There's no subtitles, so you're not going to understand it unless you speak Ukrainian. So we'll just basically is what I just read to you is what he said. So let's keep going here. The evacuation in Kherson begins. Moscow will help evacuate Kherson residents to Ukraine. See, they're going to evacuate Kherson residents to Ukraine. So now I'm a little confused because technically, according to Russia, these regions are no longer part of Ukraine. So are you actually taking them further into Ukraine? Like you're going to take them over here to Mykolaiv, for example? Is that what you're talking about? Are you taking them across the border into Ukraine versus taking them deeper into Russia for protection? That's kind of interesting. Okay, is this a way to get rid of those citizens so they can populate that with Russian citizens? I mean, what's this all about? It's kind of interesting why they would put them into Ukraine. It says, in connection with the appeal of the head of Kherson, Vladimir Saldo, the government decided to organize assistance of the departure of the residents of the region to other regions of the country. We'll provide everyone with free accommodation and everything necessary. The next week is very critical. Women and children are leaving. Not the women and children! The Russian evacuation call comes just a day after Kiev announced it had recaptured 5 settlements in Kherson. Oh, okay. So Ukraine has recaptured 5 settlements in Kherson, in this area that was annexed to Russia, so to speak. So they've reclaimed that area. So yeah, it was a little premature probably of Russia to say, hey, these regions are ours, but it's political theater, of course. Western military officials estimate the Ukrainian forces could reach the Dnipro River in Kherson next week. So they want to get to Crimea because Crimea is then like a bridge to go across to Russia. So it's another way to kind of skirt around where they can go down here in the lower area and get to Russia that way as well, right above Georgia there. So kind of interesting what's going on there. It says Crimea had agreed to take 5,000 children. Wow, 5,000 children. It's like Jesus feeding the 5,000 and the 10,000. So, well, he fed the 4,000 and 5,000, but that said not including women and children in that scripture. Wow, that's kind of interesting. So, Jesus fed 5,000, but that was not including women and children, which means there's probably like 10,000. So here we have 5,000 children who are being taken, and then we have 10,000 parents and children from Krasnodar and Stavropol offered to take 10,000 parents. So you've got Crimea taking 5,000 and Krasnodar and Stavropol taking 10,000. Officials from the area may say schools will remain closed. The appeal to help to evacuate the family shows that Russia is preparing for a decisive battle. Decisive, meaning like we're going to do something that ain't never been done before to finally end this thing? Is that what they're saying? The region's capital of the same name, Stanislav Belkovsky, a former Kremlin doctor turned Putin critic, wrote on the Telegram, not far from Kherson, a direction of an armored personnel carrier was demilitarized. That's a nice way of saying it was blown to smithereens. Okay, so watch this as they demilitarize a personal carrier here. Really nice of them. We just want to help you. There we go. A little demilitarization. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so those people were taken out, obviously. Not very nice. This is something about arrivals, but I didn't see much in this video. It was kind of, I guess, people arriving, but I didn't really see any arrivals here. So just kind of going through it fast with you. Wasn't much there. Ooh, maybe some little lights in the sky, some explosions. But down here there were some more interesting ones. Here's a large newest footage of the USA. Now this is really interesting, man. I mean, they've got some really advanced warfare now, guys. It's not even funny. So they got cameras. They have cameras. Well, I mean, they're like way up in the sky with like a drone who's just filming, right? And then they have other drones that are like bomb drones that they send in. And there's cameras on them so they can literally see what they're going at and attacking, so they can guide them directly to the target. And man, you don't even know what's coming. I mean, they look like little birds in the skies. They're like white doves of death. The white doves of death. That's what I'll coin it as. The white doves of death. And because that's what they look like. They look like these like flying birds, like seagulls or doves. You know, they're white, and they come by. They zip so fast, and you don't even know what happens. So here, let me show you some of this. Okay, there's some people walking around there. And so they've got like one way up kind of filming everything. And then they look, you see that little, I don't know if you saw that little, look like a bird flying at it. It looks like a little bird, like a little white bird. Now see, here's the bird, here's from the bird's view. Okay. See, did you see that? See it coming in from the bottom there? It's like a white, looks like a seagull flying into it and hitting it. The white doves of death. Man. And we know that there were deaths there, so may God help those people and help their families. But you got to laugh, otherwise you cry, guys. I'm sorry. It's just too crazy. But, man, help these people. Man, how sad. You're just sitting there in a van, and then all of a sudden, bam. Look at that. That's intense. So please help these people, Lord. Please comfort their families and comfort the people that are being harmed in these situations. But that's pretty crazy that you're just sitting there in a vehicle, and all of a sudden, bam. So that is the new warfare that they're carrying out here. Pretty intense stuff. Look at this. There it is. It looks like a little, remote control airplane or something that they're flying in there. So very horrible, obviously, for the people who died. That's not a joking matter. But so we care for them and we pray for them. But it does seem very very clandestine, the things that they're doing, and how easily they can just take people out like that. I mean, it just shows you how easily people can just be eliminated, and you don't know what happened to them. I mean, they can do that in regular society as well. So that's what's going on, guys. Be praying for Ukraine. Be praying for all these thousands of people, because as much as we're like, yay, okay, Jesus is coming back, I mean, this is really tough for the people that are going through all this. So we have to keep them in our prayers and be helping them and the military and everybody who's involved. God, be keeping all these guys in your prayers, that God will protect them and take care of them. So that's all for now. Just a quick report. And love you guys. Some quick shout outs to the people in the chat. Good to see Blessed All, David, Renee, thanks so much for moderating for us. Amy, Robert, our members, and Ali and Straw Bunny. Good to see you guys in there, and other people who stopped in and out. It's great to see you guys. May the Lord bless you and keep you. I may be back with more today, but definitely tomorrow. I got more stuff about Arpazo I'm going to be coming back to you with, so be looking forward to that. And love you guys. And be sure to check out our other Mikhail Ministries. I did a video on there, about 3.5 hour video on there today, just about the Word of God. So if you didn't check that out yet, be sure to visit Mikhail Ministries, and you can see more about that over here. All right. Thanks, guys. Love you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May He make His face shine upon you, be gracious to you. May the Lord turn His face toward you and give you peace. Wishing you all the best, all the blessed, and